What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. We have the combine, and it's going on. We have quarterbacks are throwing right now. Wow, that's kind of weird that the sun literally hit that one spot. Quarterbacks are going on and they're throwing and so forth, and it's not necessarily a great class, at least at the moment, looking on paper. It's funny because a lot of times you think that there's great quarterbacks and things that are there, and they end up not panning out. I mean, I remember when Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston were 1 and 2 in the draft, and people thought that they were going to be good quarterbacks. And neither of them really had great careers at all, so to speak of. So it's one of those things you just don't know. And when you see a guy like Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott or Tony Romo or, succeed, and then it's like nobody thought they were going to be good. It's, you do all the paperwork and things and try and figure out if a guy is good or not. And you hope for the best that, what you picked up is correct. So the Cowboys, figuring that they have, needs with the defensive line, with linebackers, cornerbacks, wide receivers, and running backs, that quarterbacks would probably not be high on the list. Although Stephen Jones kind of threw Dak Prescott under the bus when he said that because of Dak Prescott's contract that, we can't afford a guy like Trey Lance, so we got to go cheap there. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that you look at Trey Lance and say that, that's a luxury that we would like to have. I'm sorry. Trey Lance just has not shown me much in his time in the NFL. Of course, because he was a high draft pick, he's always going to have opportunities, I'm sure. But people were just wrong on him. They were just wrong. And you can, in fact, look at that whole draft class and say, for the most part, Trevor Lawrence did get paid, but it ain't been a great draft class, and they thought it was going to be. So the Cowboys are looking to say, we're better off if we draft another quarterback to be our backup instead of paying, say, like they did this year, $5 million to Trey Lance. And I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. So a surprise shocker here in a draft class that is not good with first-round talented quarterbacks. Jackson Dart from, can't remember what school he's with. Mississippi, I think it is. First-round potential quarterback, the number 3 rated quarterback in the draft, has spoke with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he's about 6'2", I think 220 pounds. Decent quarterback and things. And, people are saying, oh, shit, they're looking for getting Dak Prescott's replacement. And then they, of course, heard, Mike Farella, who makes shit up, that the Cowboys were looking to trade up, and people are thinking that maybe the Cowboys are looking to trade up to get a quarterback. Well, Jackson Dart is not one you'd have to trade up for. That may be a case. See, here's the thing that happens, because I remember when, say, Johnny Manziel, they remember him some years ago when the Cowboys were interested with Johnny Manziel, and you heard rumors from Adam Schefter saying the Cowboys want Johnny Manziel and will do whatever it takes to get Johnny Manziel, including moving up. The funny thing is Johnny Manziel dropped like a hot potato. Hot potato drop? Drop a hot potato. Drops like a rock? I can't, I'm forgetting the sayings now. I'm getting old, guys. Listen, I'm almost 60. So, I'm going to have some dementia up in here at times, okay? But you're going to drop. Look, he fell. Cleveland ended up taking him late in the 20s, and the Cowboys just let him go by. They literally let him go by. So it could be a case where you say, a potentially decent quarterback, and his ratings on the NFL draft stuff is like a 6.29, and what that rating equals for a quarterback would be a quality backup, maybe a starter. So you're not looking at a guy, you're saying, oh, we're drafting Shedeur Sanders and he's going to be replacing Dak Prescott. That wouldn't be the case right there. Although, the funniest thing out here is I'm sure when San Francisco drafted Brock Purdy in 7th round as the last guy in the draft, they weren't looking at him to be the starter over Trey Lance. They were looking at him as some depth, but it ended up being that in the system that they had with the coaching staff and the players, he was the perfect fit. Sometimes those things happen, and that is always a possibility that a young guy might catch lightning in a bottle and be so much better in the pros than they were in college. And I'm sure that Dak haters are rejoicing right now and really just getting like y'all giddy. Oh, we get another quarterback. I know that's how it is. And I know that unfortunately we as Joe the fans, instead of just having discussions and, each person being able to have their opinions on what a team is doing and things like that, and respecting each other, it's always, you're a blank to blank because you don't agree with me. I don't know what happened to us as people that we can't have a discussion or a difference of opinion, that if I don't agree with you, then you're the enemy and we got to fight and we got to hate and we got to call each other names and stuff. And that's fine. You feel free to call me whatever you want. Whatever you want. And my opinion, of course, are my opinions. And of course, I have no say over the Dallas Cowboys and what they do. I just don't. I'm just like you, Joe the fan, who likes to see from my point of view and thoughts on things. If Jackson Dart ends up dropping in the draft, 2nd, 3rd round, hey, maybe you go ahead and do that. Or maybe you end up, because these are kind of scenarios that can come around. Maybe you end up sitting there at the number 12 pick, and, the guy that you really want, that nobody's going to pick him in the next 2 or 3 picks, and you trade back, get yourself an extra pick, a 3rd round or 4th round pick, and you use that because you've met with this guy and people are looking and saying, I don't want to use a 2nd round pick on him, and he falls to you. That's actually doing your due diligence, because nobody knows how the draft is going to fall. Quite frankly, the Cowboys really shouldn't have been looking at CeeDee Lamb, because nobody thought CeeDee Lamb would be there when the Cowboys drafted, but yet there was. So it was good that they actually had some knowledge of the players. So you want to look at everybody. And I dare say that Howie Roseman does not look at players and say, oh, they're out of our league. He's going to turn over every stone and try and know everything he can about them, just in case there's an opportunity, because something may happen. A player could fall because of something that was said at the combine, or that there's might be an injury or things. And having that direct knowledge, if that's the case, is brilliant, because then you can kind of say, you know what, I can brush that aside because I can make that guy work. In the end, also some of it's smoke and mirrors too, to try and keep people to not know exactly what you are trying to do. All right, good people, I got some more errands I got to run and things, and shout out to Game Time Brian, who's been doing the combine and stuff and doing a fantastic job with it. I'm missing in action because got things to take care of, and I appreciate you guys as always, and we'll see what we're going to see. I still believe something big is brewing with the Cowboys, and that's why Jerry Jones is keeping his big fat trap shut. Peace.